and welcome to episode 4 of the Rolling to Victory podcast. This week, we're just going to talk about choosing a roller sport. I had some pretty good feedback, and people were wanting to get involved. They just caught our podcast on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever they found it, and they just wanted to know, hey, I'm interested in getting into skating, but I'm not sure, which sport to pick, which discipline to pick, where do I start? So I just want to go over that today because it's a really good question. When you're brand new, you should always try as many as you can to see which one you really like. However, certain disciplines require certain setups and certain skates that don't really translate or work very well in a different discipline. So you're not going to really want to use aggressive inline skates to play roller derby. You're not going to want to use quad skates to speed skate. So there's different equipment setups. So when you're looking to get started, it's really good to figure out what your goals are. If your goals are just fitness, then the obvious one is fitness skating. Some 84 to 90 millimeter wheels, fitness skates, and there you go. And you're off on your way. And you can just hit up trails, different parks and different areas in your neighborhood that you can just begin to start putting miles in and just start to build up your legs and keep your cardio system going and everything like that. So if you're just looking for just a general fitness, just to keep in shape, kind of like jogging, then just get some basic fitness skates, 84 to 90 millimeter wheels, and there you go, and you're set. And, find some people. You can either find some people that want to stick with you and do the exercising with you, or just pop in some MP3 player and just listen to your favorite tunes as you're going. Just always make sure to pay attention to traffic and everything. But yeah, I mean, that's it. If you're just looking for fitness and that's it, and you just want to do maybe 30 minutes a day or something like that, then absolutely fitness skating something you should be looking at. If you're into skateboarding already, then a more natural transition, if you're still into doing tricks and stuff like that, is going to be, aggressive inline, hitting the ramps and grinding rails and doing all that type of stuff. So, that's a pretty easy one to figure out. If you're into skateboarding already, aggressive inline is probably going to be something you want to take a look at. If you're into team sports and you want to get into something, you're used to playing football, baseball, basketball, whatever it is, then, you have roller hockey and you have roller derby. You have different layers. There's amateur organizations and amateur teams, and then there's professional level teams as well. I run a professional league, and there's also a professional roller hockey league as well. So no matter where you want to go, whether you want to be on an amateur team and just do it for fun as a hobby, or if you want to compete at like a higher level, you have options there. And that's great if you're into team sports, and that's going to dictate what you wear. Your knee pads will be different, your helmets will be different, wrist guards and stuff like that. So those are some options if you're into team sports. Those are going to be a couple things you're probably going to want to check out. Those are going to be 2 sports you're going to want to check out. If you're not into full contact sports or anything like that, then there's a lot of other options still as well that are competitive. You have artistic skating, which is the quad and inline equivalent to figure skating. So if you're into figure skating, but maybe you don't feel like plopping down all that money for ice time and stuff like that, maybe artistic skating would be up your alley. If you're into breakdancing, there's something there. There's jam skating. So there's really no limit to a discipline. What this all boils down to is what you're personally into. And then that'll help you figure out which discipline to choose. If you're into skydiving and scuba diving and surfing and stuff like this, then downhill inline is probably going to be for you. You're going to get a huge adrenaline rush from it. If you're into riding motorcycles and race cars and, street racing and stuff like that, this is going to be up your alley. That's a very high speed, high octane type of sport. So that's going to be something to definitely take a look at, right? So there's no limit to it. Just basically comes down to what your personality is and what you're trying to accomplish. Like if you're just trying to have fun, if you want to compete on a national level or international level, it's all going to kind of boil down to what your goals are. So if you have more questions on that, then feel free to send us an email, and we'll try to help you along with what what sport would probably suit you the best, because it comes down to personality types and what your personal goals are. Not everybody wants to be an international superstar with it, right? They just want to just do it for fun. So if you have any more questions on this particular subject, feel free to email me and I will help you try to figure out what sport would probably suit you best, or at least which ones you should be looking at. And there's also what I like to call complementary styles. So if you're getting into one, there's a couple other you can get into that'll kind of benefit each other. For example, with the artistic skating, slalom skating is a good companion. They both require a lot of footwork, they both require a lot of balance, and they both require a lot of precision. So one kind of can help the other, right? They're kind of complementary. They're not exactly the same, but they can help each other. Roller hockey and roller derby, they're both physical sports. They're both team sports. They both require teamwork. So those can kind of work off of each other. So when you're picking a sport, there's always going to be some type of complementary style. Speed skating and fitness skating, they're a good complementary style. So there's a lot of there's different things there that can work off of each other and can help you in another area. The thing is also is choosing your skates. So if you're trying to do fitness skating, you definitely do not want quads. They're slower. They're not going to get you the distance you need. They're not going to give you the speed you need if you're into fitness and you're trying to cover a lot of mileage. They're also not very good with outdoor skating. So if you need to go over a lot of cracks and bumps and twigs and this and that, it's just, you're going to need inlines, period. So, depending on the terrain you're picking is going to dictate that. If it's just indoors, you can use either one. But if it's outdoors, you're going to want to go with inlines, which if you're fitness skating, you're going to want to use inlines anyway. If you're doing artistic skating, you can pick either one. There's inline specific artistic skates, and then there's quad skates as well. So you can pick either one. So once you figure out kind of what sport you want to get involved with, and you're picking the complementary styles to that you can try out directly, you can go from one to the other, and they kind of both help each other out. From there in, it's just putting in the practice. It's going to be better for you to put in 30 minutes a day, every day, than it is to put in 4 hours one day a week. You don't want to cram. You want to slowly. You want to every day be working on some type of skill, and that's going to benefit you better than just trying to do it in one big block once a week. It's like, say, on a weekend. And that'll help you accelerate your learning. That's going to help you advance faster than if you try to do it just one day a week. Because you're constantly learning, you're constantly involved with it, and your brain is constantly making the connections it needs for you to improve on those skills. Than if you just do it one day a week and then your brain shuts off and doesn't even care about it till the next week. So always make sure every day you're working on it, even if it's only 15, 20 minutes a day. Put in the time, do it every day, practice a certain skill. It can be very frustrating at first. Some things will come really easy. Some things will be difficult. The main thing is just to not give up. Take it slow, be realistic in your goals. You're not going to be an expert in a week. You're not going to be an expert in 6 months. You're not going to be an expert in a year. You're going to be okay though. You're going to slowly improve and make the improvements you need. And over time, you'll look back and eventually you'll run into somebody who's where you were at, where you started. You'll see somebody new struggling with what you were 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 2 years ago. And you'll go, oh, man. And it'll just kind of hit you. And you'll really start to realize how much you've advanced without really fully recognizing what happens is you'll actually forget how tough it was to get started because you're so far away removed from being a beginner. And you won't even remember what it was like to be struggling like that. Happens all the time. So don't beat yourself up. Everybody starts from somewhere. Put the time in. Do what you need to do. Pick a discipline. Stick with it. If you don't enjoy it in the sense that it's just kind of not as fun as you thought it would be, then pick a different one. If you're not enjoying it right now in the sense that you're looking at your skills and going, man, I'll never be able to do this or do that, then keep going because you will. You just put in that time every day. And over the course of 3 to 6 months, you'll really start to notice some improvement. And then from a year to 2 years, you'll really start to become an expert in whatever discipline it is. And you'll always in your every day you'll be learning something new. And you can do a lot of these sports aside from the team-based sports on your own. You can look up YouTube videos, you can get books and DVDs or whatever it is you need for instruction. So if you're motivated, you can teach yourself a lot of this. You can go to some places to get a little bit of technique coaching, make sure your mechanics are okay and stuff like that. But for the most part, for a lot of these disciplines, you can just on your own figure them out and improve. So again, just to recap really quick before we go, pick a discipline that you think you'll enjoy. Go for it. Go try it out. Try it. Practice it every day for at least 20, 30 minutes a day, and give yourself say give yourself 2, 3 months. See how you're liking it. See how you're digging it, and go from there. And if you really like it, then and also look at the complementary styles and use that as some cross training and kind of add some variety and mixes it up a little bit and just have fun. That's really what it's all about when you're whether you're just doing this for hobby or you're trying to compete at a high level. It's all about having fun. So make sure you're having fun with it, and you'll improve immensely if you're having fun with it. If you're not having fun with it, you'll be quitting within a week. So choose a discipline that you think fits kind of your mentality, what you're in it for. If you just want to like dance, have fun, meet people, socialize, maybe jam skating's for you. If you're into figure skating, then try out artistic skating. If you're into full contact sports, look up hockey or roller derby. If you're just trying to get in shape and you just want to be in shape, look up fitness skating and speed skating. If you're into like marathons and triathlon stuff like that, try out speed skating. Okay, so depending on what you like to do already can kind of help you figure out what style you should start with. So until next week, get out there, skate hard.